Hello and welcome to Tea Time with Tanzania, where we take you on a tour of Tanzania for a taste of the work that Food for His Children is doing in Tanzania, a little bit about what life is like in Tanzania, and the families that we serve in Tanzania, Africa. I am Carrie Holschbeck and I'm the founder and executive director for Food for His Children, and today we're going to take you to visit 4 of the people that we work with at their workplaces or the places where they earn their income. We're going to visit one person who is a gravel maker. We're going to visit someone who works at a coffee plantation, somebody who has his own shop, and a person who has her own tailoring business. And so you'll get to see a little bit about their business, hear a little bit about them, and learn more about the work that they are doing to try and earn an income for their families. Food for His Children exists to eradicate extreme poverty in Tanzania, and we do that because we believe that no child should go hungry, that every child deserves the right to go to school, that no one should die from a treatable illness because they can't afford a medication. We want them to become all that God created them to be, and that's why we exist. We do that one family, one dairy goat at a time. So we invite you to join us for Tea Time with Tanzania. We do ask that you would give us grace because this is real. This is life in Tanzania. The internet is not strong there. It's not like it is in the United States where I am right now. So you can expect glitches. That's just how it is. It's not perfect. We're not perfect. And we don't pretend to be perfect because we just simply are not. So this is real. This is real life. You will expect and you will see some glitches, and we're getting better each time that we do tea time. But you'll notice some glitches, and we just ask for your grace. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting Food for His Children. You are truly making a difference. You are unleashing potential, and you are impacting generations. Enjoy the video. So we're going to start with prayer because we are talking across the world, and we want to pray to make sure that the internet's good, and we just want to open everything up to God. So we're just going to start with some prayer. So thank you, Jesus, for your goodness. Thank you for just for technology, that we can have a conversation with Tanzania across the world, Lord. We thank you for all the people that you brought here today. We ask for a strong internet. We ask for clear communication. God, we ask just that your will would be done, that you would show each of us what you wish for us to see and hear and feel today. We ask that you would stir our minds, our hearts, and our souls today, Lord, and we just give all of this up to you and lift it to you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, I just need to make sure we don't have anybody waiting. Okay, so we're going to meet with Apollonia, hopefully, who is a gravel maker. And then I think I had seen Frank. And then we're going to meet with Natalia, and then Johanna. We're going to watch a video of Johanna, who works at the coffee plantation. And then I think we're going to meet a different family, Food for His Children family. And then we're going to see a video of Petro Bura, and then have some time for questions and answers. So it looks like Frank is ready to go. I see some gravel making there, so I'm going to unmute Frank. And Frank, if you want to unmute your phone. And we're going to...
Yes, I would like to unmute my phone. Hello, everybody. My name is Frank, and I'm working with Food for His Children as a field officer or case manager. Today, I'm at Kusmai project site, one among the newest Food for His Children project sites. Today, I would like to share a little bit about family of Apollonia Leonard, a mother, hardworking mama who is a gravel maker from this project site. I would like you to see her, and then I'll introduce a little bit about her family. This is Apollonia Leonard. You can say hi. It's really interesting, but sometimes it's not interesting at all. Today, I would like to share a little bit about her family. Apollonia Leonard was born on 1984. She has 36 years old. She has 4 children, but her husband passed away a long time ago, almost 2 years now, 3 years now. She started working hard when her husband passed away. because all the duties and the responsibility from his family lies on his hands. She's taking care of her children. She's doing all kind of activities so she can make their children able to be at school, to afford the basic needs, to have good clothes, good shelters. But when she joined Food for His Children, at least
So I can see the Frank's signal is a little low.
her life was a little changed.
There we go.
Sonia, she's a hardworking mama. She's a gravel maker. I see how the day working. She used and small portion. So this is a gravel they use after making it from the biggest rock. Aplonia, on her story, she said, "I wish I could be someone else, maybe a teacher, a doctor, but the nature decide. The nature tell her who she can be and at what time." She's really proud of you. She received her goats. She received a lot of training, daily goat training, farming training, also entrepreneurship training. So apart from that, during rain season, she keep working on farming so as to have enough food for his family. And then after the end of farming session, the farming session in Tanzania starts in October up to January. So from January to September, they used to be at different places so they can have earning, they can have money for running family activities. So she's doing a gravel making, she's making a gravel, and she expects a lot of things from after selling gravels and have money to afford all basic needs of the family. She said she was able to receive a dairy goat, and now she received milk from the goats and manure. So when it's coming in rainy season, she used the farm manure to improve her farming. Also, she used training received from the agriculture specialist, so has to improve his farming and to improve the production of the farming. She have a lot of things to say, but she keep praying and praying to God. So she believe one day her life will be total change and she will be who she wants to be. So thank you so much for giving them opportunity to receive the dairy goats and be under Food for His Children umbrella. So the life is changing and changing and changing. Thank you so much and may God bless you. See you next time.
Thank you, Frank. Frank, would you be able to, your video was blank for a little bit. Would you be able to show us maybe a little close-up of how she breaks up the gravel?
Yes, I can do that. Maybe I can turn on my camera. So you see how she's making gravels. It's little hard work, but no way out. She has to do that. She has to break those stones into smaller parts so she can be able to sell to buyers when they come to his working place. As you see, some of rocks are very hard, so even it is difficult to break them into small pieces. This is how they are doing. Apart from that, I would like to show you a rocks where they used to find those small particles. This is portion of rocks. This is mines, the gravel making mines. So as you see from the back, it's a rock, a zone of rock where they used to drill it down by using Erxo and some of equipment which are sharp and they have a big edges. So they used to break this down so they can get these small particles, and then they are going then again to break it down into small parties, as you see from the picture. This is gravel which is already made, so it takes more than 1 to 2 months to have 4 tons so they can sell to buyers when they come. A maximum amount of gravels which buyers they used to buy from people in the area is almost 4 tons, which is almost about 400 kilogram, 4,000 kilogram and the above. So
How
it
much?
depends with the nature of buyers and where.
How much would she be able to sell that amount of gravel for? I'm sorry, how much?
So I can translate.
Okay, thank you.
Mfano kama maeneo ya hapa unaleta kama kote hiyo kwenye eneo na mrefu kuna sana kule natoa offset haya kutoa tena shule tano jumla shilingi ukija kuuza ni kama 60. So she said there are some taxes to be paid people who will pull the gravel into the car. So the amount of money that they receive cash in hand is 6,000, 16,000. Payment of this place is local amount of money is 16,000. They receive cash in hand 16,000.
16,000 for a truck full?
Yeah, for a full truck, after removing those expenses like taxes and people who will pull the gravel into the car.
Okay, so that's about $8 US. And you said that that takes her about 1 month to get that amount?
I detect to get the amount of gravel, it takes 1 to 2 months. It depends with the people you are working with. Like if you have some family who will come to help you, but when you are alone, it takes 1 to 2 months.
Okay, all right. That's a lot of work for $8 profit. Okay, thank you, Frank. We might come back if we have some more questions at the end and we still have some time. Apollonia, it's very good to see you. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, so now I am going to attempt to be talented. So give me 1 second. Frank, can you mute yourself for us? Okay, so I'm going to show the video for Natalia. Natalia she is married to Simon, and they have 7 children. But they also live with Simon's grandmother. So there are 9 people living in the house. They started with Food for His Children in 2009. They've completed their requirement to pass on 1 goat to another family and pass 1 back to Food for His Children. And they're currently building a brick house. Their main income source is farming and goat keeping, but Natalia is also really proud to be a small business owner. And she has her own tailoring business at her home in a rural village. Her customers are her neighbors who need clothes for their children, but because it's the rural area, they don't have a lot of income, so she doesn't have a lot of customers because they can't really afford to pay for someone to make the clothes. Natalia would like to start another business using her cooking skills, and their family goal, they're building the brick house, and as soon as they finish the brick house, they'd like to add on a room to it so she can open up a small cafe and have a restaurant. She said if God wills it, it will be in 2021.
Hello, my name is Levina Charles. Today we are at Ndashangwet project site. We are here at Natalia's house because of tailoring business. Let's hear something about this business from her.
Habari, Hello, my name is Natalia Simon, a mother of 7 children. I'm staying with my husband and my grandmother. We have joined Food for His Children in the year of 2009. Currently, we own 6 goats. We are doing farming and livestock keeping as the source of our family income. Apart from that, I'm doing tailoring business. Please welcome to see my business. This is my office, a place that I've been using to make clothes. I thank God that by using tailoring machine, I can make clothes for my children, especially school uniform.
Na pia namshukuru Mungu maana hata majirani wanaonizunguka.
I'm also proud and thank God that my neighbors have been coming here and give me orders, and there is where I get paid and get money to provide for my family.
Mama, as I introduced her, let's ask her a couple of questions. Mama,
Natalia, for how long have you been with this project? I've been with this business for 5 years now. So how do you feel when making clothes? I'm really happy and I'm feeling very good when doing tailoring and making clothes for my friends and my children. I also making clothes for myself. You're most welcome and thank you very much.
Pedro, I love this story. So I remember going to meet Esta, Pedro's wife, for the very first time, and I will never ever forget going to meet them. They live in a really remote area, and they truly were one of the poorest families that I had ever been to see. They have 7 children, and I was sitting in their mud and stick home, which was very, very warm, very small. It was about the size of a large bathroom in the US. It was maybe 1.5 meters, so about 4.5 feet, and then maybe 9 feet long. And I was sitting there just really fighting back the tears. Heard a little child crying, and pretty soon another small child, maybe 3 years old, came carrying the baby to the mom, and there were flies everywhere, and it was just exactly what you would kind of envision if you thought of what the poorest family that you could imagine in a remote village in the middle of nowhere would be like. Um, and I was just struggling and really fighting back the tears. And all of a sudden, God completely changed my view and just said, this is why Food for His Children exists. This is why you're here. And the whole thing just changed. I saw this mother who just loved her children like crazy. And I saw her super excited as she sat and told me and Honorina, with her friend, about their plans to start a chicken business and all of the different plans that they had and the hope and the things that they had for their future. That was 8 years ago when I saw them. Now today, Esta and Petro, they started with a small shop. Now they've got a much larger shop. And it's close to where their home is. And they used to be, they said, the poorest in their community, and now they are one of the most successful in their community. Food for His Children requires that families do one goat, so we give them a goat, and they're required to pass on a goat to another family, and then they pass one back. The Tanzanians said that was their plan, is that if they pass one back to Food for His Children, we can sell it, and then that helps us to be a little more self-sustaining. Esta and Petro decided that they would also give a goat to their church as an offering to God, because of their gratitude for how the Goat Project has helped their family. So they've sold many goats to use for capital for their business, and we're gonna show this.
Petro Bura, a man of 42 years old and the father of 7 children, he married to a woman named Esther. They joined Food for His Children in the year of 2009, and by that time, the family annual income was between $150 to $300. But now, things have changed. They can collect up to $800 to $1,000 a year. Currently, they own 13 goats and they are doing farming, business, and livestock keeping to earn their living. Food for His Children is empowering families to become financially independent. Economic development practitioners and Food for His Children experts are working closely with families, help them with resource mapping, identify their potentials and opportunities around them, break their goals into smaller pieces to make it easy for them to achieve. What a blessing to have people who are working really hard towards their future. Food for His Children is feeling proud with the family of Petro Bura, who is living in a village called Mangolachini. They've been with Food for His Children for 11 years. Since they joined Food for His Children, they have seen themselves in the next level, and their lives has improved. With the help of Mr. Noel, a case manager, and other experts under Food for His Children Entrepreneurship and Economic Development Department, Petro Bura decided to convert goats from being for domestic use to commercial purpose. Petro Bura sold 15 of his goats and used the money as the capital to start a business of a shop. He attended several trainings concerning entrepreneurship and became so confident towards his dream. This huge step helped the family to reach a point where no struggles with basic needs such as send children to school and pay for medical bills. The great thing is, Petro is feeling happy to become so helpful to his community. He brought the service close to his community and improved his neighborhood. After here, I would like to give you a quick tour of the shop. Karibu. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Petro Bura's shop. Petro Bura, who is the recipient from Mangolachini. I'd like to give you a quick tour to show you the items and other things found in his shop. Petro is here, he's doing cleaning. And this is refrigerator, cooling soft drinks like soda, juice, and water. Then he's also selling slippers and shoes, clothes, coffee, body lotion, soft drinks like soda, juice, biscuits, exercise books, pens, battery torch, bar soap, juice, sugar, rice, beans, candies, and he's also charging people's phone and get paid. He's also have a television here, whereby his neighbors, they always come here and watching news. So here is Petro, and we have a couple questions to ask. Petro, when did you start the project? I started the project in the year of 2014. The capital was 500,000. How do you feel have this kind of project? I feel so good. What is your current dreams? My dream is to expand my shop and buy other items, and one thing is to buy a grain machine. Thank you so much for helping these families to chase their dreams, and God bless you all the time.
Show you about a coffee bean plantation. So how many of you have a cup of coffee or tea? Anyone drinking coffee? All right, so you are going to appreciate your coffee even more now. We're going to go visit Johanna at Tembo Tembo Coffee Plantation. Johanna she will introduce herself as Jacob Stefano's wife. Jacob and Stefano, they live in Mangolaju, which is one of our newest project areas. So for those of you who are on our email list, you've read about all of the families, all the applications that keep pouring in. That's the area where they keep coming from. We've gotten over 100 from that one area. And it is, for those of you who have been to Tanzania, because a few of you have, that I can see, you've been to Tanzania, it is on the way to Mongola. It's a sub-village or a village on the way to Mongola. They have 2 children. Lucia is 7 and Maureen is 5. They started with Food for His Children with their training in 2019, and they received their goat in 2020. They do seasonal layer at the coffee bean plantation. This month you're going to see a story. I don't remember if it was in an email or if it's in the blog, but you'll see a little bit more about Jacob, who is a cook for his family, which is unusual. Usually the wife does all the cooking, but Jacob said, there's no reason why my children need to be hungry because my wife is working later than I am. I know how to cook, I'm capable, I'm gonna cook for my children. So a lot of men in Tanzania, that's not the typical role, and they may say, no, you'll have to wait until your mother gets home. But Jacob says, my children are hungry and I'm going to feed them. So I think that's pretty awesome. Their combined annual income is about $450 US per year. Their long-term dream is to send their children to school and to build a family house. And next month they are planning their goal of building a latrine for their house. And today we're going to see Johanna at her workplace. So you are going to get to see, you at least get to see, hopefully you can hear, you'll at least get to see the coffee bean plantation and what goes into picking all of the beans so that you can have a cup of coffee.
Here we have some of the workers who are working with us, who are being helped by the Food for His Children. And before we begin with that, the farm started in 2009, where we have been going on with the process of growing coffee until now. We have an estimate of 150 workers, and some of them they are being empowered by the Food for His Children. Some of them we have here, like we have a lady there. We can go and have a look at what she is doing. Now she is one of them. She's doing the drying of coffee. She has a family of 3 kids and one husband, and she is one of them who is being empowered by the Food for His Children. Back in the field, we have several of them. We can go and check some of them, and then we can have a look at what they are doing. Yeah. Yeah, this is another type of coffee. This is a parchment one, where we do the drying. This one has been removed. We have the husk has been removed, and then it remains white. And this is the one which we, after it has dried for around 14 days, we take it to the millers. The millers do the drying, and then it is being packed and then taken to the customers. Yeah. Then we can go to the field and have a look at what is happening there. We have several workers, a plenty of workers. Then we can conclude as we are going there. Yeah. Welcome to the second part of the field. Here is still at Tembo Tembo, where we have the coffee field. Here we have several plants. We normally have very many of them here. And here is where we have several workers who come to plant this coffee here. Around here we have one of the recipients for food for his children, and he is the wife to Stefano, and she normally works with us. She normally picks coffee here, where we have this good red cherry coffee here. During the day she picks around 3 tins. That's her daily task for each and every day. She comes here to pick coffee, and that's what she normally does most of her daily time. Maybe she can talk a little bit. Yeah.
Mimi ni mke wa Jacobo Stefano, nafanya kazi Tembo Tembo. Nimeingia kwenye kazi mwaka huu. Kwa kweli kazi ya Tembo Tembo imenipatia mahitaji mengi na ni kampuni ambayo sitaisahau maishani mwangu.
Okay, thank you so much, because that's the brief. That's what we have. Thank you and welcome to Tembo Tembo.
Every day, millions of people wake up and get refreshed with a cup of coffee. Around 10 million tons of coffee are produced all over the world, from South America, South Asia, and every corner of the world, including Tanzania. Have you ever imagined how life will be without that refreshing cup of coffee? Even now, I know you get your own cup of coffee close to you or on your table. Enjoy. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
So that was Christian that you were hearing, who did that lovely ending for us. The coffee plantation there has 220 acres, and they have about 150 employees who are hand picking those. I want to just check and see. I need to scroll over and see if I don't think Fadil is still with us. Fadil, if you are still with us, if you could unmute so we can ask some questions about the coffee bean plantation. In the past, I have had families tell me that they get about $2 to $2.50 for that big bucket that you saw of coffee beans. So George said in the video that she picks about 3 tins. I don't know if he means, I don't think it's 3 buckets, 3 5-gallon pails per day. That would be a really good amount of money for the families that we work with. So that would be, I wish I had the answer to that one, and I don't think, Christian, if you are on, if you want to answer that question if you can, or Fadil is not with us anymore. So this is why we did the videos, because they're out in really remote areas. So their income, this is seasonal. They don't pick coffee beans all year round, so they this is not steady income for them, and this is something that they just started doing. So Johanna and Jacob are lucky because both of them are employed with this coffee plantation, so their family has a little bit extra income. I see Christian now. So Christian, do you know when they say 3 tins, is that 3 of those big buckets?
Yeah, sure. They mean 3 buckets of 10 liters. So the bucket that you saw on the video is the tin that you're speaking about.
Okay. And do you know how much they get paid for each one of those big buckets?
No, they don't pay per bucket. They just paid for a day.
Okay. What's their daily rate?
For Tanzanian shillings, it's almost 4,000.
Okay, so a
So
little
it's
less than
about
$2.
yeah.
Okay, so about a little less than $2 a day. And Fadil's not with us. So anyone who has, rather than doing the chat, if you have a question, Christian or any of our other employees can pipe in and try and answer your questions for you. So you can unmute yourself if you have a question that you'd like to ask about any of the videos or the people in the videos, or any other work that we're doing with Food for His Children.
Carrie, I have a question.
Yeah, Joel.
You. How many goats have you provided?
How many goats have we provided over the years? That's a great question. We are working with, because at the end of last year we had 282 families, but we have provided more than 282 goats because families don't stay with us forever. So, and then we have had over 150 new families join us this year. So we've provided over 400 goats. We have over 900 goats that our vets are treating. That's not taking into account all the goats that have been sold. So that's just within our programs. There's over 900 goats that the families that we serve currently own, but many more have been sold beyond that. But we've worked with over 400 families since we started in 2008. Where does the coffee go? From Luke, Christian, or anyone else, can you answer where the coffee goes? Some of it does go to Caribou and Starbucks. Starbucks, I know, has Tanzanian coffee.
So after drying the coffee, they take them to the shop, and the customers used to go there and buy those coffees. But there are some coffees that they have to be distributed, supplying in different corners of the world.
And Frank put in the chat that after the coffee is dried, it's transported to the city for processing and packaging for selling. There are several, because Karatu area in Tanzania is a large tourist destination. So there are a lot of resorts and lodges that are selling the coffee beans to tourists as well. But there's a lot of export that happens too. Okay, how about the rest of the Food for His Children team that are still on? If you want to just introduce yourself quickly, since I didn't do that at the beginning. And Christian, if you have anyone else in the office with you, have them introduce themselves too.
So we have Mr. Joseph, our livestock specialist. So he's going to introduce himself.
Okay.
Hello, Kerry.
Hi, Joseph. Joseph.
How are you, madam?
I am good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Joseph has been with us since 2008. He is amazing. He could have retired long ago, but he's chosen to continue working. Joseph, someone has asked a question in the chat. How many goats typically? So I would say, how many goats do our families have? How many kids do they have when they're pregnant? And how many could they have if conditions were perfect? How many kids could they have per pregnancy? So what's typical, and then what if they take really good care of their goats, how many babies could they have?
Okay. Yeah, normally under good management, a goat can give birth twice a year. But normally under poor management, then it's almost one. Under the poorest, then sometimes none.
And how many babies do they have when they give birth?
Babies?
Yeah.
Yeah, now from one common twins under more good management as we have now, we have number of triplets now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some goats have 4 though, right? 4 and 5?
What?
Sometimes goats can have 4 and 5 babies. Under excellent. I've heard of some having 4 and 5.
Yeah, but practically in our project so far, we have only one goat which has given birth to 4 kids, but number of them has given to triplets, and then many of them twins.
That's awesome. And and they can have, how much milk are most of our families collecting per day?
Yeah, it depends. For those with 1 kid, a recipient can get 1 to 2 liters per day. But if a goat has twins or triplets, then the chance of the recipient getting more milk is minimized.
Well, as long as they are
for the first 3 months.
Okay. And then do they produce more milk than a mama who only had 1 baby? Since they were providing enough milk for 3 babies, I would think they're producing more milk.
Yes. Yeah. And if the kind of goat who are producing 3 kids, if it produces 1, then a recipient gets more milk.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Joseph. Is anyone else in the office with you?
Yeah. Honorata.
Okay. So we have Honorina and Honorata. For those of you who don't know both and haven't been to Tanzania to meet them. Honorina is our program manager. Honorata is one of our livestock specialists who happens to be Honorina's sister. Hi, dear. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Namaste. My name is Honorati. I'm livestock field officer at FFHC program.
And how many?
My duties is. Yes.
How many goats are you responsible for?
In my site, all goats I'm responsible. Now we have. We have got more than 900.
Okay. So Honorata and Joseph, they split the 13 sites that we have. One of you has 6 and the other has 7, is that right?
Yeah.
And what is your tell me your favorite or funniest goat story?
My favorite is I think it's Anthony.
Oh, Tell us about him.
Yeah, he's a breeding bug from Midabini. He also used as breeding bug as Karatu, but now we keep at the FFHC goat farm.
And how much do you think he weighs?
Yes.
How much do you think he weighs?
He weighs.
Yeah, what's his kg?
Kg is 83.
Okay. He's a big buck.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Anthony knows his name, and he will come when you call his name. He's got personality.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he's a survivor.
Yes.
He's a survivor. Someone was afraid of him and attacked him with a machete 3 years ago, I think. And he was badly injured, but he's our vet team took care of him and got him back to good health, and now he's doing his job as a breeding buck. All right.
Now he's become docile.
Say that again?
Yeah. Now he's not attacking anyone.
No.
Yeah, leave,
He's
Carrie.
friendly.
What was that, Joel?
I said I gotta leave now. Bye.
Okay, bye, Joel.
Can I watch the recording?
Yes, I'm going to post it on Facebook.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We only have 4 minutes left. Is there anyone else in the office that we can introduce?
Yeah, sure. We have two staffs here. We have Upendo, our training coordinator, and we also have Nick, the field officer, but he's also working under entrepreneurship and economic development department. So maybe I would like to welcome Upendo, our training coordinator, so she can introduce herself.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Pendo. I think your video has frozen for a second. Okay, now we can see you good.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Nice to see you.
You too.
I'm fine. Yeah. I'm Upendo Joseph, the training coordinator. So happy to see you all.
And Upendo, tell everyone so that they can pray for you. the grand scope of things that you are being asked to do, which only with God's help would it even be remotely possible.
Sure. As you have said, please pray for me because there is a great work ahead of me. There are so many people in need of to be trained, different topics in different aspects. So for real, with this, I need God's help for me to accomplish it.
Upendo has been asked to train 16 different topics in 40 different sub-villages, and to make sure that each of those sub-villages has a contact every quarter. So that's almost an impossible feat, and really we need at least one more training coordinator so that we could split it up and make it more realistic. She's now not just a teacher, but she's now become an expert in teaching about entrepreneurship and leadership and savings and some agriculture and animal husbandry and D4D and health and environment. So she has to learn all the curriculum so she can teach it to everybody else and keep adults entertained, right?
Yeah.
So definitely pray for her, please. All right, we have Penda, we have just 1 more minute left, so we just want to see Nick's face so we can introduce him.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, dear.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick and I'm working with Food First Children as a case manager or field officer. It's really nice to hear from you, and you are very welcome to Tanzania. Hope you had great adventure watching how people of Tanzania are doing their activities and everything. So you are welcome.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Good to see your smile. All right.
Good to see you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Christian, for coordinating all of this. Christian is, he's in charge of all of our communications, so making sure that all of you can hear and see all of the stories and all of the things that are happening because of your goodness and your support and your love. So thank you for praying for us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming alongside of us. And thank you for being here today. We love you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.